We're in the 2025 INFINITI QX50 coming in at $53,700. This vehicle is made in Mexico. For how much longer? Well, who knows, and will tariffs affect it? I can't get into that right now, but what I do want to do is review this, tell you what it's like to drive. Is it worth driving a CVT luxury vehicle here in 2025? And stay to the end because I'm going to put this on the spreadsheet and tell you if it's a good buy or not. Guys, if you're excited for today's video, hit that like button. I would appreciate that. And let's get under the hood on the INFINITI. It's locked in. It's a very Nissan trait. When you put it in a park, it's still locked. But under the hood of the 2025 INFINITI QX50, this vehicle, I want to say I was working for Lexus when this vehicle got redesigned. And at the time, it kind of made our first generation Lexus NX a little jealous. This had more performance than the first generation NX. This has a 2-liter VC turbo with 268 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. All-wheel drive, of course. The thing is, this has made it to a CVT, and we'll talk about what that's like in driving, everyday driving here in a little bit. All right, I'm seeing 21 miles per gallon in town, which is not spectacular. We're something like the NX nowadays that this used to beat in a lot of ways. The NX has about 240 horsepower and 40 miles per gallon from its hybrid. So let's go and close down the hood. Something that this vehicle does or has aged real well with is its design. I think INFINITI has crushed the design, and they always have. I think there's never been a time in an era where INFINITI really had ugly cars. The QX50, guys, is a beautiful car, even with it having bird poop on it. And I apologize for that. You know, it was sitting under my tree at home while I was on a work trip. Anyways, it's still a gorgeous looking car. The headlights, the grille, the sportiness of it. These wheels, they might be a tad bit large when we talk about ride quality. These are 20-inch wheels. I would like to see what 18s feel on this, if it really enhances the luxury. Even that side garnish over there, it's a gorgeous car. In and out, I think. Even on the inside, it's still very pretty. We got dual exhaust back here, blacked out badges, blacked out INFINITI badge. I mean, look at that. It's looking really, really special here. Q50S, this is the sportier model. All right, lifting this up. Lots of cargo capacity. That's what you expect in a crossover, right? I don't want to lift this up. It seems like there's a lot of felt. No spare tire underneath here, just some sound equipment with an amp and maybe a subwoofer in that box over there, but no spare tire here. That is a miss. Fold down seats, 60/40 with some levers back there. Also auto folding or auto closing there. Getting in the back seat. Great materials up front. There it is. I don't know if you guys hear this. Sounds like it's coming from somewhere, and there's a little click going on. Anyways, materials are really, really nice here. It's just as nice as this vehicle is covered with good materials, it's just really boring and uninspiring on the interior. This is supposed to be a sport model. Yes, I know that they have red interiors too. Just very basic back here. Now, this has one of the largest opening sunroofs I've ever seen. That is a huge benefit to the QX50 with this panel roof. Panel roof is great. I want to say the panel roof might be standard across the lineup, so you don't need to spend well over $50,000 for this model to get it. USB-C, USB-A in the back, vents. We also have mount pockets, good legroom, headroom, good headroom. Some lights up top, some bars. It's a very nice experience back here. Cup holders as well. So really good space back here for a compact luxury crossover. Let's get in the front seat. And I have smart access keys on the front and back doors. Same sort of attention here, but at least we have nicer aluminum Bose speaker grills, which look great. Skid plate here that's illuminated, QX50 mats. Pretty basic looking seats. We do have some suede here on the sides to step it up a bit. They are ventilated, and let me tell you, they are really well ventilated. And I'm not, I'm a sucker for cold AC. This vehicle has some of the best AC, and that might stack. Like, guys, I live in South Florida. AC is very important. Yes, it kills my fuel. I'm getting 21 miles per gallon, but the air conditioning in here is incredible. There is an asterisk to it. The fans in here can't seem to run at a consistent speed, so you hear it's almost like the CVT. I don't know if it's tied to the CVT. It kind of is, right? With the belt on the AC compressor. So the fan speed sounds like it's going up and down quite often when you're pushing it hard, and so it does take away from the luxurious experience, as well as the CVTs. We'll find out here in a little bit. Well, you guys want to see the backup camera and the 360 camera here. Nothing to write home about. At least I have the 360 camera. Terrible parking job, but yeah, I mean, there's no one around me. All right, so that's the parking sensors chirping at me. What do I think about the dual screen system? I still like it all these years later. People are going to hate on me for this, or hate on this vehicle for the dual screens. I think it's great. Android Auto up top, leave it there. And then I have my audio down here at the bottom. So I have my Sirius XM. The problem is, if I want to listen to my Android Auto music, look how small this becomes if I'm playing through. So really, it's just a one screen system. So Android Auto audio up here. So you'll select your music and then you'll just go back to your maps. That's how I would do it. All right. The buttons here are fine. Heated ventilated seats. There is no heated steering wheel button that I can think of, so you do have to go to climate and turn it on that way. The climate button's here, so it's not that hard to figure out. Volume button's great. I wish these had knobs, because it does take a while to press up and down, but at least it's not touch capacitive. A rotary dial here that zooms in and out of the map, but not the Android Auto map, only the base map, so this area is kind of pointless, and you can press that button to pull up your 360 camera. Steering wheel quality is quite good. It's super soft, so they did a good job there. And this looks pretty old at this point. The 7-inch screen, this kind of layout doesn't look that much different than like a Nissan Altima, if I remember correctly. So it's functional, it works great, it just doesn't look anything special. I was in a Mazda 3 before this that cost 20 grand less, and their outdated system looks better than this. So this just feels like 15 years old at this point. All right, dash here, stitching's great. You know, the materials are good. It's just kind of, everything's monotone black in here, so it's just a little stale. In this here, this is my only major disappointment about the interior, besides the instrument cluster, and I like this. Call me crazy, but I kind of like this, the dual screens. Anyways, this matte plastic here, I'm glad it's not like glossy, but it does look cheap. I'm glad it's not glossy. Shifter here is fine. It's, you know, kind of shift by wire situation. Driving modes, I haven't been touching that this week. All felt lined in there, and I don't think it has a light. All right, USB-A, USB-C, cup holders. I think that's about it. I want to tell you what this vehicle is like to drive, and then we'll head in the office and stack it up against some other cars I've driven this year. 268 horsepower from the 2-liter VC turbo. What's interesting is that the Murano, guys, and I'm going to pull up the Murano a lot today as we go forward. The Murano just came out redesigned. The Murano has the same engine. It's not tuned quite as high, but I bet if you put premium in the Murano, it would get close. Now, the Murano also has the new 9-speed auto, and this still has the CVT. And I'll tell you what, the 9-speed auto feels more luxurious. It's not a sport transmission, and I will say this is more responsive than the Murano, but it has some drawbacks with the CVT. Okay, it's not something that you can rely on to be consistent. All right, so when you get into the throttle, there's a delay, and then you have this rubber band effect, and then it tries to simulate gears. It's sloppy. It's a sloppy transmission, and especially from a stop, there's a QX50 there with the 9-speed. From a stop, it doesn't give you a lot when you roll off the line, which is not luxurious. There's a delay. There's that rubber band effect that you have, especially with this CVT and this VC turbo. All right, getting into the gas here. It really doesn't feel like it comes into its happy point until after 30 miles an hour. So you know, it's such an interesting car because it looks sporty. It handles quite well, all right, but the CVT saps me from experiencing this car how I would like it. Now, I will sing the CVT's praises in this regard, okay? Once you're up to speed, it's super responsive. So I'm going 40 right now, pedal down. Let's go, baby. It goes, it pulls hard, and it doesn't hesitate. That's all. I've always been impressed with this responsiveness once you're up to speed, okay? But from a stop, I'm just waiting for something to happen, and it's just like, you know, it's just, you don't know what you're gonna get. It feels different every time with the, you know, the turbo lag mixed with the CVT rubber bandiness, all right? And at times, it's a bit like, even when steady state, I just like softly get into the pedal. Sometimes it's just a bit like, I'm not getting the throttle response that I'm expecting. Sometimes it's a little bit too much, sometimes it's not enough. So it's just, it's not a good luxury experience from the transmission point of view. I like the engine power, but you have to work to get to it, all right? Especially, like I said, from a stop. So I'm all done talking about the CVT. It is more responsive than the 9-speed in the Murano, but the Murano just feels better, feels more old school luxury with the 9-speed. And from a stop, it's better too, okay? It's just the only benefit this has, and that's a cute dog in that Tesla. The only benefit this CVT has is responsiveness when you're already up to speed and you need that power. It'll give it to you. Okay. Outside of that, I don't really like it. Okay. And think Infiniti knows that. And so here's the thing, like I've been driving a Mazda 3 this week, and that provides a better luxury experience from the powertrain department, and it costs 20 grand less. Okay, so like if you look at the CX5, for example, I would take a CX5 over this, and it costs way less. There's some things that this does better than a CX5. Maybe back seat space, the panel roof. There's some luxury things that it does better, but the CX5 is more fun to drive. Okay, and it costs a lot less money, and the interior is close enough to where I wouldn't be missing anything on this car. Okay, compared to a non-luxury CX5. And if you start comparing this to something like the Lexus hybrids or the BMWs, it doesn't have the performance of a BMW or an Audi. It has okay luxury, but it doesn't, you know, it might have a little bit more luxury than a Lexus NX, but the powertrain is nowhere close to the refinement of the NX powertrains, especially the NX hybrids that'll get you 40 miles per gallon, equal the performance of this, if not better. So where does that leave us with the QX50? Well, it's not a good place, unfortunately. I love how this vehicle looks. So if all you care about is looks, a big ass sunroof, ice cold AC, and having a prestigious, well, I don't know if it's prestigious anymore, the Infiniti badge, okay? So that's tough. Anyways, if you call it ice cold AC, you know, and you like a big sunroof and you like how it looks, I get it. Like, if it makes you happy when you look at it, it makes me happy when I look at it. I think it's a hot car, okay? It's just that the powertrain takes it away from me. The ride quality here is not that impressive. Okay, let's just throw it in the turn. The handling is good in here. I will give it that. The handling is good. The steering response is quite sharp. But, you know, these 20-inch wheels, it's a bit juddery at times, and I'm comparing it for a luxury car. It should be a little bit smoother than this. Like right now, it's just a little bit too bouncy going on. All right, so it could do better there. Now, I will say, for the most part, it is quiet. I do have dual pane windows. The brakes in here are good. I like how this vehicle performs outside of the powertrain. The brakes here are fantastic. Like I said, I just came out of the Mazda 3. This has a much better brake response than the Mazda. Okay, maybe I'll just take a, oh, no, there's a Highlander there. Blind spot monitor is fine in here. And yeah, let's head to the office, guys. I think I'm done talking about the CX50 in my driving impressions. I'd rather have a Murano, so let's see where this stacks up against the Murano on the good old spreadsheet here in 2025. All right, QX50. The cheapest models are around $42,000. You know what also is around that price is the Murano, and the Murano is a better vehicle, in my opinion. Now, if you like the looks of the QX50, I just can't think of any reason I'd pick a QX50 over this vehicle, and this in general costs quite a bit less. So with that being said, let's get to the spreadsheet, guys. INFINITI QX50 luxury CUV. How does it compare to like a Aviator, SQ7? Nowhere close. I mean, those are much different vehicles in general. The Murano is a better car and costs less. So if the Murano is a solid buy, that makes the QX50 less than. All right. So where is it at in terms of here? It's not a pay me to drive sort of vehicle like the Hummer is. The Hummer was just so, I don't want to go down that route. I enjoy driving the QX50 more than the Hummer. All right. Did I like it more than the Traverse? Did I like it better than the Rogue? Oh man, it's just going to get lumped in here, guys. It's just getting lumped in this area of fire sale only. And this is not an April Fool's joke. I'm reviewing this on April 1st. It's a fire sale only vehicle. So I know when we're looking at prices here, that's not what people are buying these cars for. Typically it's less, and really this is a lease car. It's a lease only vehicle. When you see these fire sales, let's go back. The Alfa Tonale, the Rogue, the CX50, the Traverse, I would only lease those cars. I would, and it has to be for a bargain. I would never want to own those vehicles. Same thing with the Hummer. You would have to pay me to drive a Hummer SUV EV. Maybe the truck's better, but I doubt it. Okay, because it's even bigger, and I just hated how big the Hummer was. Poor QX50, it's looking to be discontinued. Luckily for INFINITI, they'll be bringing in the QX65 coupe crossover. That's gonna, it should sell better than the Mexican-made QX50 and QX55. No hybrids, no true performance transmission, or just like an average transmission. It's such a below average transmission that it kills the experience for me. It just constantly feels like an automatic transmission whose transmission's going out and you're just slipping gears all the time. It's not a good experience, okay? And it's something that's passable in the Rogue. I would take a Rogue over the QX50. No, the QX50 looks better. I get it. But yeah, I would just not spend any money on a QX50. It's a fire sale only sort of vehicle. It's kind of sad because it looks so good. And it's just the state of INFINITI is sad in general. And a part of that is because of the main part of that is because of their lack of compelling products. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you want me to review more INFINITI products. I don't have really much else. The QX80, the QX60, and the QX50. The QX50 is likely to be discontinued this year. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more car reviews. Peace.